This is the Tree of Life breakdown video. So first, we made the tree trunk, and we made the tree top, and the final tree. So Karina and I made the base of the tree trunk out of cardboard cylinders. We made 4 total. We found some boxes that were roughly the size that we wanted, and then we rolled them up to get more of a curvature out of the boxes. We broke them down first, and then we rolled them up, and we cut circles out of other sheets of cardboard to act as the base and the covers of the cylinders, and we glued the rolled pieces of cardboard around the perimeter of the cylinders, out of the circles, and we stuffed them with butcher paper, just to give them a little more weight, and then we taped the covers on top, and then we stacked them on top of each other for the first time, just to get like a rough estimate of how tall the tree trunk was going to be, and I believe it ended up being about 8 feet tall once we put all of them together. We decided that we needed, just a bit more stability for the tree trunk after doing the test run. So we decided to put a 2x4 down the middle of the cylinders and put a flat base at the bottom. And so in the pictures you can see us drilling the 2x4 to this flat piece of wood. And then because the screws were sticking out the bottom, it kind of made the base a little bit wobbly, so we added 4 smaller pieces of wood to the 4 corners of the base, and then that was the kind of structural piece done, the support beam. And then we cut holes into the 4 cylinders and we slid them onto the support beam, and then we glued the lid to the wood beam, just for some added support. And then the trunk was done. We used spray foam to texture the outside of the tree trunk, and the 3 of us did that, but Karina and I were responsible for making the tree trunk out of cardboard. And then Monse did a majority of the paper macheing, and I helped finish paper macheing the tree, and Monse and I painted the tree brown. Monse added some UV highlights to the tree, and for the tree top, Karina cut out a circular base. We taped together some pieces of cardboard first, though, And we used chicken wire for the outer perimeter of the tree canopy because it was nice and light and it would be easily rigged to the truss. At first, we wanted the tree canopy to the tree canopy supports to have like a wooden structure, but we were advised against doing so since it would be too heavy to rig. So that's why we went with cardboard and chicken wire. Karina glued the chicken wire to the cardboard, but I cut pieces at the bottom of the chicken wire so that they could be pieces of the chicken wire could be slid into the corrugated part of the cardboard and glued. Karina and Montz made tissue paper grass and glued it to the base of the tree. I did some research on how to possibly go about making the foliage for our installation, and I saw that some people who were using tissue paper pom-poms, which was working well with everything we had already made so far, since a lot of what we were working with was tissue paper. We originally bought green tissue paper pom-poms off of Amazon, but they were pretty expensive, so we decided to make our own after a while. We ended up going to about 2 or 3 Party Cities and buying some green tissue paper off of Amazon, and Montse and I made or folded the tissue paper and tied them, and Karina fluffed them. Karina and Mott's fluffed them up, and then Karina glued the tissue paper to the chicken wire. I assisted in this process when it came to gluing the pom-poms onto the chicken wire. We quickly decided that we also needed to cover the base after testing putting it onto the tree trunk. And Karina was responsible for covering the bottom of the tree. She also twisted the ribbons to act as vines hanging from the tree. And this was the final tree.